Hey, what's up? It's Ollie here. So, wanted to make a quick video sitting in my apartment right now. I wanted to talk to you about the reason why I coach. And in this video, we're going to talk about the main thing I try to do when I'm actually working with people to get them actual real results and hit their goals. And I want to dispel some of the myths that quite a lot of people buy into when they're first starting off building a business and first trying to get into any project, really. And just to give you a little bit more clarity about the things you should expect in the beginning when you're building your business, and also to give you the highest chance of actually being successful when you're building your Amazon business. So let me just get to the right page in my notebook here, and I'm actually going to draw out a quick chart for you, and this should put things into perspective. So if I just get my pen and paper ready. So allow me to switch to the notebook. So if you see this piece of paper here, I'm going to draw for you now what people expect. Beautiful handwriting, I know, right? Barely legible. But this is the thing, when people are trying to hit their goals with an Amazon business, right, I'm going to show you why quite often they never really get there, or why things are just very different from what they expect. So when you're starting, quite often you're making no money in your business, right? You're just about to start selling on Amazon. You're thinking about making this stuff work for you, trying to figure out all of the tools, trying to learn the skills and all that stuff. In the beginning, you are generating no money. Quite often when I speak to people, they'll have like a monetary goal they want to earn every month. Let's say, you know, ideally, success to you is getting to the point where you can have 10K per month in income, right? Six-figure income would be very, very successful. Great goal for you. That's where you want to get. So that's fine. And to be honest with you, I recommend, like, it doesn't really matter what the number is you want to earn every month. Like, there is a way for us to break it down. The clearest way in order to do that is just to have a number, have something in mind, and it doesn't really matter what it is. If it's 10K per month, that's totally doable with Amazon. I've seen tons of people achieve that, and therefore, if that's your goal, fantastic. It might be higher, it might be lower. That's not where people go wrong. This is where people go wrong. They expect the journey selling on Amazon to be kind of like this, right? Imagine this line here represents your progress as you're moving through and building your business. A lot of people think that the way that you progress in terms of the time you put in is split equally into 3 chunks, right? So for example, you'll go from 0 to earning maybe 3K per month as like an initial milestone. And then you'll go to maybe earning 6K per month as an initial milestone. And then you'll hit your big goal of 10K per month, right? So what's wrong with this image here? All right, well, a lot of people think that this chunk of effort between 0 to say 3K per month, this chunk here between 3K to 6K per month will be the same amount of effort, the same amount of time, and the same with 6K to 10K per month. They think that, you know, each one of these stages takes the same amount of progression to get to the next level. When in reality, this is actually how it looks, right? So you start off earning nothing, okay? You end up, ideally, at some point hitting your goal, okay? Let me draw for you the way it's really more likely to actually look. In terms of effort, in terms of energy and time it takes to actually get to the first milestone, getting from 0 to any amount of consistent income, usually £1,000 a month is a great goal to go for. That's usually the single hardest part of the journey. And in fact, when you've gone from 0 to about £1,000 a month, that chunk of time, energy, effort is probably the same amount of time, energy and effort it's going to take for you to get from £1,000 a month up to your goal. So why is this? Why isn't it just an even, the more you want to earn each month, the more you need to learn, grow, develop? Why is it such a difficult concept for people to accomplish this part of the equation, get from 0 to say $1,000 a month, and then why is this part easier? Well, there's several reasons, right? If you think about it, at this point in the beginning, right, there's a lot of stuff you don't have, right? You don't have skills in the beginning, right? You need to learn all of these skills from scratch. There might be certain strategies you need to learn. You might need to learn how to use the Amazon Seller Central back office. You might need to learn how to use Jungle Scout. You need to learn how to find products, how to communicate with suppliers. You need to learn all these skills from nothing, right? Also, your mindset might be pretty terrible in the beginning. It's understandable as a newbie, right? You might have a bad attitude when it comes to building a business, and that's okay. We all have one at the start. For example, you might have a ton of limiting beliefs, right? You might believe that you can't earn certain amounts of money with a business. You might believe that this stuff is really, really, really hard and that you're not capable of it. So you have to break through all of these mindset barriers in order to be able to generate any money, let alone hit your big goal. Also, you really don't have many resources in the beginning, right? You might not have too much capital, right? You might not have assets. You might not have products ready to go on a spreadsheet. You might not have staff in the beginning, right? Very doubtful that somebody who's never made a penny on Amazon is going to have a team ready to help them grow their business. So this is why the first chunk, getting from 0 to any amount of consistent income, £1,000 a month, is around about the it's what I suggest your first milestone should be. That's why this chunk is so much harder than this second part. Because when you get to here, right, when you've actually got all of this stuff, all of a sudden you do have the skills, right? You do have the mindset because you've cracked it and you've actually built up consistent income, and you do have resources, right? You've got several products you can launch. You've got maybe a VA that's helping you now. Maybe you've got some more capital from the profit you've made from your initial investments in stock. So going from 1K a month to whatever your goal might be, whether it's 5K a month, 10K a month, whether it's higher than this amount, lower than this amount, that's probably going to take you just about the same amount of time as getting from 0 to £1,000 a month. So to tie this all together, the reason I made this video really is to tell you why I coach. Why do I do this? Well, the main reason is because I want to help as many people as possible get through that tricky part of going from earning nothing to earning £1,000 a month, right? Because at the end of the day, that's where you have to do all the growth. And going at it by yourself is unbelievably difficult. If you don't have people by your side helping you, holding your hand, showing you the right way to do things, the right way to get the skills, keeping your mindset in check, building up your resources and using the little resources you have to the best way you possibly can, then there's no way you're going to be able to get from 0 to £1,000 a month. And then there's no way in hell you're going to get from £1,000 a month to your target goal, because as we've just discussed, getting to that first milestone is really tricky. So in this video, right, I wanted to make that point first of all, right? Just showing you that getting to that first part of consistent income is really what you want to aim to do first, and it's kind of tricky to get there. However, this is the second point I wanted to make. It doesn't necessarily have to be that difficult, right? I've helped so many people break through that milestone. I want to tell you about the first person I ever helped break through. His name was Bruno, and it was the end of 2015 when I built my business to a 6-figure level already. And I realized that I wanted to help other people do the same thing. And I'd just been through a crazy journey of growing a 6-figure business in about 11 months, right? And it was working really well for me, and I just wanted to help other people. So I started to train people, right? I started to put together a little course, got a few people interested, and they were using the stuff to build businesses for themselves. And this guy called Bruno, I actually met him it was like a Christmas meal that we were having, right, with a bunch of people that were kind of friends of friends. And Bruno was there, and he came up to me and said, "Ollie, I've had amazing results in my first month selling on Amazon thanks to your training. I've gone from nothing, right, never doing this stuff before, to making £3,000 profit in my first month. So the question is, well, how do so many people struggle for years trying to build a business, trying to get this stuff together? And how can someone like Bruno go from nothing to £3,000 profit in his first month without too much of a struggle? Well, I think it's because he had several things in place in order to be able to help him get there much quicker than most people, right? I think he had help from me so he could learn the skills, right? I think he had help from me so he could adopt the mindset, and he had the best way to utilize the resources he had, and so he didn't waste any of the money he had put aside to build the business. So that is why I coach, because I know that I can pull people up and actually get them much better results than they could on their own.